How's this? This is probably a lot better since I actually put the microphone on. No audio, no audio, no sound. Come on, man. We got to have sound now, right? Boom, boom. All right. Good morning, everyone. Uh, well, how's everybody doing? Have you successfully penetrated the uh, the veil of the world, and you now have done your IMs to such an extent that you're finding yourself free of all gravity and friction of planet Earth? Um, I think not. I have had one of these weird weeks, I must say, almost to the extent that part of me doesn't even want to do these bloody Sunday mornings because I get input from people. I think they mean well. Hey, Jennifer, see you in the room. Hang in there. I'm gonna bring you up here in a second. Like to chat with you. Uh, I thought today we would do some questions and answers, guys. So if you have a question, um, I tried to do this early on. In Jennifer, I'll bring you up in a little bit, but I tried to do this early on, and I found that too many people were trying to influence kind of the message, and I'm just trying to be the brush here, nothing more, um, and at least offer a place. This is what went on for me this week. I find myself very lost as to be able to find any positive news anywhere. I'm finding myself wanting to disconnect from all social media, X, YouTube. I mean, just it just seems like it's all garbage, and don't like. Um, I don't like. It doesn't make me feel good, and it gets me off purpose. And I start thinking that it's hopeless, and then I want to just go, hey, let's just retreat, right? So that's kind of been my week. It doesn't mean that I give up. Um, one of the communications I got from someone was, hey, really like you and appreciate what you're doing, but you're doing an awful job at what you're doing. This should not just all be about you. And I was like, dude, I am really trying not to make this about me, but I don't have any other way to do something like this, and just to go through the experience and to show other people, hey, if you're trying to create something in your life, like I am trying to recreate part of my life now, which I have had to do, and no one told me this, but I suspect this is a fact, that somewhere between every 7 and 12 years, um, I need to review my life and actually consider, is my life on the trajectory that I set 10 years ago? And is my life today still into that journey, into that trajectory, right? I change. My cells, your cells change every 7 years. Every cell in your body changes every 7 years, or so I'm told. Well, if that's true, then imagine all the things you've learned, uh, come in contact with, skills obtained. Yeah, David Kiefer. See, it's a recalibration, right? It is a recycle or a rebirth cycle. I have had at least, I don't know, I think I've had 5 lives in this one body of mine on this little planet, I really think I've had, I mean, when I look back, they're all real different, like chunks of 15 years of my life that are one, they're gone forever. And that's not a bad thing. They're just gone. Okay. I am no longer interested or equipped to go back when I was 28 and relive that life. It's almost like it's a chap. I keep drawing these books, libraries, and what I'm noticing is I'm like, hey, all these books are just stories. You know, you and I are building a story, a whole book, and inside that book, there's so many chapters, and those chapters, although it may not seem to you like a smooth, beautiful story, because it's got all kind of crazy shit in there, stuff you don't even want to put in a book or a chapter, but it is in fact part of your life, and it's part of my life. The thing is, how much of that do I drag into today? Okay. And what I've been noticing as I disconnect myself, you know, when I started doing this, it dawned on me that I would have to be really fixed in my willingness to withdraw from unnecessary noise. I'm going to write that down. Unnecessary noise. You know, not all noise do I have to stick my nose into, right? I mean, I'm finding myself sometimes on X because I'm have nothing to do, or I'm lonely, or I'm doing something else. Maybe I'm painting, maybe I'm writing, maybe I'm reading something, and I want to listen to my buddies talking about Bitcoin or whatever. The problem is there's so much negativity on this planet right now. Even my friends fall victim of becoming overreactive. In fact, you know, I had a debate with a friend of mine, and I made a comment. He and I were in disagreement. And I said, dude, like if you and I, if the bullets were flying, you would most certainly, because he was acting like I was the problem. I said, dude, if the bullets were flying, you would love me as your fucking warrior brother. And he immediately said, no, I wouldn't, man. I might fight against you. Now I like this guy. Okay, he's a lovely man. And he called me back or sent me a note later. He said, "Nah, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that." But my point is, see, we're all getting jacked up. It's either Candace or the Jews or Ukraine or drugs or Pam Bondi, or now we have a Brown mass shooting and we have a Australian mass shooting. We have weather phenomena all over the place. We have every 12 minutes, we have something coming out of the administration about the crimes. We have the Epstein. It's endless. The amount of aggro, the amount of tension, the amount of friction, the amount of noise will completely mess me up on what I am doing. I am doing, okay? What am I doing? Does anything interfere with this? If it doesn't support I am, whatever I am, I need to cut it out whether I like it or not. And if you haven't seen me around much, it's not because I'm in a room disguised as anonymous. It's because I am turning off negative information. I don't want to hear it. You know, I can't afford it right now. I don't think anyone can afford it. And I think it's designed to distract you. Okay. I think it's designed to distract you and me. And it's amazing. You know, last week I talked a lot about I was angry and about boycotting. Hey, what can I do? Because I don't just want to be angry. I want to do something positive. And I talked about all the stuff that's happened in my life, from Pearl Harbor to JFK to COVID to everything that you guys have experienced. And I am angry and upset, and I don't know what to do other than boycott, boycott, boycott. Stop spending money with the enemy. That's what we talked about last week. How can I get productive? Okay. No sense in me getting all angry and bitter. I started bringing back I started looking through my refrigerator and my cabinets. I'm bringing stuff back to the grocery stores, and I'm telling them, opened, unopened, too old. Hey, I want a refund on all this stuff. I will not shop with you guys until you start ensuring that when I walk into this store, I'm not buying poison. Okay, it's bullshit. And and I think, once you get aware, like, you're not going to do these IMs becoming a great human being and not become aware of what's going on. Okay, but I don't need to tap into unnecessary noise. Okay, like Tim Blanch says up here, breathe and center yourself. Okay, breathe and center yourself. I love that. Okay. Now, when I'm jacked up, like I am right now, I didn't think I was going to be this bang bang this morning. But see, when I follow my flow, which is, hey, this is bullshit. It's too much negativity, and it is impacting me and my ability to transcend something. I am attempting to transcend something bigger than the human state. And I think if you're here, you're probably searching for something. Okay, you're probably searching for something. 900 awesome people in the room. 13.47 minutes into this Sunday morning on December the 14th, 2025. Guys, this year's over. Okay, we have 2 more weeks, 2 more Sundays. In December 2025 will be gone. We will be waking up in January on 2026. And there is no doubt that 2026 is going to be I would say, a highly dramatic and interesting year. And I just think, look, I don't know why I'm here. If you're just brand new here and you've never been here, if you don't know the story, I'm going to tell it real quick. I was painting one Saturday. I was being critical about not having a place to go to think, talk, be, philosophize, consider, get some community of peaceful warriors together to at least pray in some form or fashion where we can all start, like, becoming more. Okay, I am more, and I choose to be more. I know there's more here. It's not just money and business and influence and dopamine. It's dopamine is your enemy, dude. I'm telling you. Okay, dopamine is your enemy. I want you guys to do something. Jennifer, I'm going to have you come up here in a second. And I'd like you guys to start. If you don't want to come up into the post and show your pretty face or pretty voice, you're welcome to post questions in the comment section. And I would really like to go through this today. Just in any question, you can ask any question. This has nothing to do with finance. This is about becoming the greatest you can be. How do you do it? What books to read? What happens when you start, failing? Like this week, I felt like I was, I'm not really doing anything. When you don't see any progress, what do you do? So really think about what questions you have that are struggling, or challenges that you've had in doing I am in learning who you are. No one in this room, 900, 1,000 people, there might be 1 or 2 people in here that are Buddha. Not sure why they would be here, but I am quite certain that there isn't a human being in here that has it all figured out. No chance whatsoever. Jennifer, let me pull you up, Jennifer. So good to have you. You have been a huge supporter and really appreciate you being here. How are you this morning? And why don't you introduce yourself to the crew?
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Jennifer Seiden. I've been listening to Gary and just really sinking everything in and following the IAMs for over a year. So just after he started, um, and for me, it's a journey that kind of began like in 2011 or so. More from following some Catholic indoctrination pieces that I was in. It's just, I think that midlife examination that Gary was talking about, the stories and where have I been? Where am I going? Where am I right now? Why are we here? So I study a lot of esoteric aspects too, and not just, major religion is that is you know, the industrial part of it, but I think there's so much more. And I think we're heading into a beautiful world. I just think that we are seeing the deconstruction of our current one. So that's what keeps me going. The IMs keep me going. So I do think we're headed for a much better world despite what is happening right now. It's normal. It's just the part of history we're in.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Jennifer. Thank you. Hey, we're going through the ugly part, and I think the ugly part's probably going to get uglier. If I look over at Europe, man, they are doing everything they can to remove your voice, remove your opinion. As soon as I remove my voice and my opinion, you said something about midlife, and I'd just like to maybe, if you're still here, just either debate it or challenge it a little bit. I don't think this is really a midlife thing. I think the I am is the thing that is missing at its very core from all of humanity. I was thinking this week, I'm like, hey, maybe I should change the name or quit doing it or whatever, because I am doesn't really speak for it. But the truth is, I am. If every human being simply was very clear as to their true nature, and of course, that's impossible to do if you don't have any truth. But the more you become aware of your consciousness and your ability to discern true from false, the world starts to look very different. And I have to go through this every 7 or 12 years. I mean, this is not, if you're 20 years old, you don't do this and stop. If you're 60 and you've never done it before, cool. You've never done it before, but you're not any different than when you were 18. You're just starting it now. And I think, I don't like to use that whole midlife thing because it sounds, it's got a bad connotation to it. I think it's just me, my cells renew every 7 years. I am a completely different entity every 7 years at the molecular level. And most certainly spiritually, I am a very, very different human being day by day. Most certainly, decade by decade.
That is true. You got me there. I think absolutely. I would say it kind of took at least us Gen Xers, perhaps, and other, maybe the millennials have it a lot faster, but it's taken us this long midlife to get to that sort of understanding. There's been a movement around called human design that is really speaking to what you're saying. And I think the younger kids coming up now and people being born right now have an innate sense of this. Whereas it's taken us longer because we're from that old world. But I've been studying that a bit more, and it does give a deep sense of who we are, why we're here, and each person and their individual contributions to it. And I think that's we've been just grappling with that for decades in as midlifer people. But I think you're right. I think that is the secret sauce for the younger people, for everyone actually, is to get to that point of everything that you just said, because there's factors. that are at play, and we are renewing and we're changing. And I think collective consciousness is being influenced by so many factors going on in the world. But I also think collective consciousness can influence everything that's going on in the world. And that's why what you're doing here is so magical. I don't like to compare you to your brother at all, but think about the 10X pieces that he's doing. It is influencing collective consciousness in a certain way. You're doing it in this particular unique way, which is fantastic. So that's what I think is going on.
Yeah, no, look, I do think there's almost a battle between a collective consciousness and another collective consciousness. And thing is, we all need to become more conscious. It is terrifying to me how unconscious humanity is. And that the reason I say terrifying, because if you're unconscious and there is a problem, you become part of the problem. Right? Like, I mean, COVID's a very good example, not to make anyone right or wrong, but if you were conscious, really conscious, I'm not saying that if you took it, you weren't conscious, but it was pretty clear to me, hey man, I'm not getting in line to do this. I mean, there's been no vaccine in history that's been made in 4 months, much less 4 years, or 4 years, much less 4 months. And just everyone getting in line so easily.
I think that was the test. And you heard the black box warning this week, right?
Yeah.
FDA has black boxed it. Yep. And I have some deep, deep regret as a nurse. I never gave any of it. I certainly had to receive it or I would have lost my job. Same with family and schools and stuff like that. And so many people who are, have either passed or had terrible things because of it. So anyway, that one's a particular pain point, but I do think it was a collective consciousness test. And you're right. A lot of us didn't pass, but we won't fall for it again.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I probably have less faith in the collective group right now because I think like I just keep questioning, hey, where are all the billionaires? And where are all the decamillionaires? And where are the people that have big voices? Because they all seem to be spineless. I mean, spineless. We should have at least 300 billionaires fighting the system right now. There's 3,500 billionaires on the planet, and all they're doing is lining up in Washington to get more. And I don't even know what they're going to do with more. I have no idea what they're going to do with more. I don't need more. I need more quality. I need more truth. I need more understanding, like really simple things, like things that make no sense that are continue to be sold to us. Why, for instance, the FDA black warning, why don't they just take the shit off the fucking market until there is no warning? Like, hey, black box, don't put it on the market, man. Get that shit off the market. See, this is insane, right? Like that is not a good solution, the black box. We should say black box your ass. Get that shit. I mean, Jennifer, if I were you, I would sue the company that made me take this shit. I would sue them into oblivion. And I think all that's coming next year. I think you're going to see some of the largest lawsuits we've ever seen, unless somebody just calms all this down and says, look, we're going to have to give a pardon, to everyone. But you got to fix it. I'm cool with letting everybody off, but you have to remove everything and start over, which is not going to happen. Yeah. Jennifer, what do you have any questions or do you have any input to the audience as to, a struggle or success you've had in learning more about yourself and what your path is, what your, why you're here?
Yeah, it's been unfolding for a long time, since probably 2011 or so. But and it didn't make sense to me. It seemed weird and woo woo, and so much of it, even couched in the traditional, religious institutions. But yeah, something happened to me in 2018. I had a very, very significant injury. I was at a resort in the mountains of Virginia, very historic, place like that, and it's called the Homestead. But anyway, I had a very significant Segway accident, and it hit just fell down a ravine, or like on the Segway, and had a head injury, and that was in 2018. So there's been a significant healing journey there as well. But having to know myself, I had significant vision issues, went through a lot of physical and vision therapy and other things through that process. So I had to learn about myself on so many levels: physical, mental, cognitive, and I had to really understand, physically, how to rebuild myself, and get back to the level of career and work and everything that I had achieved before. And it was very much a big wound, and I'm still dealing with the soliloquy of it. But that is really one of the things that had just launched me down that path. And then COVID hit just a few years later. So you really start to question everything, and you start to see things differently. So it seems like an ego death has to happen. So
Mm.
that's the part of it. Yep.
Yeah. What do you mean by ego death?
The things that you thought you were, the things that you thought you could do that made you who you were, the successes you've had in the ways that you had them throughout your life, the things that came easy, or you took for granted, suddenly that changes, or that's taken away from you for whatever reason. And I went through a terrible lawsuit with all of that as well. I mean, it's all over and done with, so I can speak about it. But so I empathize with you and your trials and tribulations. But yeah, just meaning the rug gets ripped out from under you, and you have to figure out who you are from ground zero, and it humbles you. So a humbling experience like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's been my experience. Jennifer, thanks for coming up. Really appreciate you. You guys,
Thanks.
if you don't follow Jennifer, she's a really good human being. I would encourage you to follow her. Thanks for being here and always for supporting the I am community. Um, Jennifer said something, and I was thinking about some uh, younger people that I am in communication with in the 35-year range, and they talk about how difficult it is today to survive. And I think sometimes I get a little frustrated with that, because my message to you is, dude, it's usually a struggle. Like, there are little windows of, oh, this is awesome. But if I look at my 40 years of being a human being, a mature, relatively mature human being, I look at it and go, well, maybe I've had like 40 years. I don't know, maybe, when I'm like really just, so it's all easy and exciting. Okay. It's perfect. And I'd say that's less than, out of the 40 years, I'd say less than maybe a year or two of the 40. The rest of it was struggle, and like my sister was just given some bad news. She got out of hospital in Houston, and then she's got to go back now because she's got some kind of tumor they've spotted, or so they think. Maybe it's a false positive. And I would ask you guys all to say a little pure white energy prayer, or however you do it, for my sister Diane. But now she, right, is at a point in time when she's going, oh, wow, am I going to die here? And so she's had a wake up call. It's what I call the wake up call. I do not believe you can escape the wake up call. Okay. I do not believe you can escape the wake up call. Now, I think some people escape it a little bit. Okay. The super billionaires might escape some parts of it. I mean, if you have so much money, uh, there's a lot of things you can get away with, but one thing you can't get away with is your health and the health or condition of a friend or family member. There's nothing you can do, right? Um, and then that is the ego death. The ego death for me goes way, way beyond me just waking up one morning and realizing I am highly limited. For me, an ego death is to realize that you and I are identical, that we share everything, that I am a part of. How does Alan Watts say it? Like, I'm not the wave of the ocean. I am part of the ocean. I am the ocean. It's not like a wave is a distinct piece of the ocean. It's necessary and it's a part of the ocean. I am a part of the universe, and it is that yearning. Okay. The yearning for dopamine, for acknowledgement. And I think this is really, really poisonous right now, by the way. Attention, followers, repost, who likes you, who doesn't like you. Like, I've stopped, for the last week, I have been on very, very little social media. And this next week, I'm not reading anything on social media. I'm not listening to the news. I'm not responding to people's posts. And the reason I'm doing that is because I actually want to test for a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I think Mr. Musk, you have done a horrible job at making this a place where there is a balance. It's just all hate and not polarization, people not liking each other, too much conflict. They are hoodwinking you, folks. Okay, they're hoodwinking. It's too much noise. You need to look within to get quiet. I cannot do enough to get quiet, and maybe I needed to show up here today for myself, but the message that I received just from the communication with Jennifer and just what we're doing right now, the last 2 weeks for me, I have been in this not knowing spot. And what do I do? This is my question to you guys. What do I do? I continue doing what I was doing that got me uncomfortable, which was being more and more quiet, listening to less and less confusion, listening to less and less noise. Look around your environment. Okay, you have an environment. Look around your environment and do a checklist. High drama, low drama, high drama, low drama. It's like a speedometer. Okay. I have zero interest in any drama. I need zero, dude. I need my mind to be clear. Now, as soon as I get into, oh shit, I'm not painting enough. I need to paint more. I need to do this. This is all ego. This is the ego death that I hear is I need to be okay with being Gary Cardone and not having to do it the way you do it, or she does it, or they do it, or even with you. I need to sit with the universe and get to know the universe, and I need to get to know me. I've spent my whole life getting to know clients and you and girls, and little time getting to know myself, right? And I have spent a tremendous amount of time getting to know myself. In fact, I would say the reason I'm doing this is because the only reason I have been successful is because I have done this my whole life for some bizarre reason. Now, let's get to some of these questions. There are some questions in here. The first question I have, Blockchain Becky's in the room. She's giving me a good heads up on my sound. Stephen Carello reposted the room. You guys are awesome. You know that? Blockchain Becky says, I am happy to be here. Florida Bitcoin, good morning. This is an awesome affirmation. I am not for sale. My man, dude, I like that. I am and will never be a prostitute. Feel like I'm in a class of my own. Thank you. You are, dude. Stephen Carello, Mr. Vader. Dude, he is in a class of his own. We are all in classes of our own. And there are classes of people like us. We're not just alone. It ain't a lot of us, but we're not alone. And I may not be able to help you with your I am. I can most certainly not live your I am. I most certainly cannot motivate you into your purpose. But I can support you in being as true to yourself as possible and continuing to dig. And I suspect this will be a forever type challenge. Let's see. All right. We do have a lot of incidents in the world right now, for sure. Good afternoon from Essex. Good afternoon. England, dude. We pray for you, dude. Okay. I am a warrior, and there's no way I wouldn't be in the streets, revolting like a madman. Okay, let's see. You guys have to be able to hear now, right? He says he can't hear. Hey, man, if you can't hear, you're the only one that can hear, so you might want to get out and come back in. Okay. I like when you were on because you cut through noise, ringing truth bells. I understand that. Yeah, cool, dude. Thank you very much, man. That's why I'm here. My ego doesn't want to be here. I got to tell you, my don't know why. Part of me just wants to go hide. I just want to go recluse myself away and get away from everything. I find the world not to be a very nurturing place right now. By nurturing, I mean it's not safe. It's poison. Everything's everything's fucked up, Trust is at an all-time low. Now, I think that's actually very, very healthy, that trust is at an all-time low. I encourage you to challenge everything and everyone. You can most certainly challenge me. I don't really know much of anything. But I don't know anything. I'm just being, I'm just working through it. Okay. I had a question in here. A gentleman asked about the best book I've ever read. Let's see who wrote that. Somebody asked about a book. Look, I think there's a few things on books that it depends on where you are. If you're in trouble, okay, I would read The Road Less Traveled. And for anyone listening to this, I would get that book anyway. And the day you are in trouble, which if you live long enough, you will end up having an event that will shake you to your very core foundation. I don't know why people don't tell us this more often. Hey, you will be shaken. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. You will be shaken to your core if you live long enough through some incident, event, awakening, an experience, or just 40 years of, grinding you down. I see two types of people. The people that die quiet and probably disappointed, but don't ask questions. And then I see a very small selection of people who are constantly probing and wanting to know more. the only reason I'm motivated to do this is I don't think I die. I think I am a infinite entity, and I might as well go ahead and figure this shit out now so I don't have to keep being an amateur in my next lifetime and my next lifetime and my next time. I would like to be more productive. You know, if I was in a job getting paid lots and lots and lots of money, I would most certainly study on how to become greater, better, more advanced, right? I mean, I'm doing something that I dig. I'm getting paid well for it. You would think I would really, really, really study. Well, here I am, this incredible machine. I've broken almost every bone in my body. You would never know it except the way I walk. It heals. My body heals like unbelievably well. If I go to healing practitioners, my body responds unbelievably well. So I have this awesome repairing equipment, yet I don't spend enough time thinking about what parts need to be repaired. So I would encourage everyone to get a book like this. You see me writing things down. I think this costs $10. And inventory where you're at. If you're having an awesome day, dude, inventory what's working. If you're having a stressful, weird, hey, I'm kind of like I have had this week, I can inventory, start writing, hey, this is a problem, okay? Why is there noise there? Ooh, I don't feel good when I leave that communication with those people. I didn't like watching that. It made me feel bad. Oh, I needed to watch more. I wasted time watching some of this shit. You guys are wasting a huge amount of time listening to poppycock. I mean, like literally, people are jamming you with noise right now. Jamming you with noise. Fibaswamy, great question. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, if you guys could, okay, put Q in here. That way I can see it. When was the last time you were quiet long enough to hear the truth? Fibaswamy, this guy's a very good chartist on financial markets, but more importantly, he's here, I think, almost every Sunday. He's a really good person, middle-aged guy, I would say. And he's asking the question, when was the last time you were quiet long enough to hear the truth? I was with a man the other night. He's 50 years old. I asked him a question. When was the last time you were quiet for 1 hour? No phone, no book, no cigarettes, no coffee, nothing. 1 hour, just quiet with no agenda whatsoever. Don't go to sleep. You just sit there and think and listen with no agenda. He's 52 years old, okay? The answer was never. And I will bet you, Fibaswamy, when was the last time? Last time was 2 weeks ago. But I am doing this actively, okay? I am forcing myself to disconnect. I'm forcing myself to go sit on a wharf with my legs hanging over the wharf and just listening. And no phone, no music, maybe some bells in the background, but the chimes. That's it, though, okay? And it is amazing how much you start to hear, okay? It is really, really amazing how much you start to hear. So I would encourage everyone, especially as we're coming up upon Christmas. I don't know why that's relevant, but, because you have some free time. Probably you have a little bit of time off. Find an hour, man. Find an hour. And then why don't you write yourself a little note and put it in a box And maybe you open it next Christmas and say, I am, after you spend that hour, I am, this is who I am. This is what I'm building. Put that message in a box, wrap it up, put it under the tree, and open it in a year. I think you'll be surprised what happens. This is a great hack, by the way. Great hack. Okay. Fibbaswamy, love you, bro. Thank you very much. Who we got here? We got Philagain B. I am me. Dude, you are a one of one, never to be repeated, clone, copy, or duplicated. They might try, but they're going to leave some part of that magic DNA you have in you, that electric grid of data that we tapped into, about 3% of it. Good on you, bro. Good on you. Let's see what we got. A repostas as a flux. I do not know what that means, but I like you anyway. Sometimes I read through a fear lens. I end up in stream and notifications of what I engage with. So that was a curve of my emotional anti-fragility. I don't know exactly what you're saying, but one of the things I'm noticing, I'm being played, dude. On these social media sites, I am being played. I am being fed shit to upset me. And this is the part about Elon. Dude, really, man? I thought you were a different cat. Thought you were a different cat. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the priority. However, I will tell you right now, you will not get any of that here. You will not get any of me stirring you up to stir you up to come back. You can come back. I'd love to have you come back, but I think I have as many followers as I have, and whatever it is, it's whatever it is, and I'm not gonna hoodwink people so they'll pay attention. I'm most certainly not gonna bait you. What's it called? Whatever. All that noise, man. Okay, like you should get with somebody else and go, hey, let me see your feeds, and then you look at my feeds and you see how you and I are being managed based on what grabs our attention. I am a liability. Okay. There's a part of me that likes all that ego, grandiose, disturbing. Somebody got killed today. Oh, cool. They took the guys down. There's a part of me likes that, because what I do is I can then focus on this little drama over here, which, by the way, I have no influence on whatsoever, can't do anything about, will do nothing about it, have no impact on it whatsoever. And listening to all these people in spaces talk about what maybe might have happened, the amount of hours being spent listening to winder-uppers and just more and more and more drama, you could be spending time becoming better, just your own better. You're not going to fix the world. You're going to fix yourself, maybe, on a good day, in a very good day, okay? The chances of you walking away from this planet being an aligned spiritual entity, an aligned, happy, peaceful, spiritual, aligned, hey, I'm here. I know why I'm here. I've led a good life. I am proud to have been in this body. I've done a bloody good job with the tools I was given. And I took the time to learn my tools and sharpen my skills. Or I can sit there and listen to 37 different people talk about shit that just, like, seriously, okay? It's not, I can hear it once or twice. I don't have to hear it every day. Now, do I like these people bringing this transparency out in the world? Most certainly I do like it. However, I don't need to get lost in it. Okay? If I'm focused on reality TV, which isn't reality TV, which isn't reality. If I focus on drama TV, okay, I am not making time to sharpen my own blade. I am the blade. I'm the brush. I could be painting. I had a guy go, hey, dude, you don't know anything about painting. I posted a joked about selling it for a Bitcoin. Then I get beat up online. I thought you were never going to sell your art. I'm like, dude, it was a joke. Okay. I deleted the post. people love killing creators. And by kill, I mean, minimize, suppress. By the way, artists and creators also are hard on themselves. So, like, I don't need any help from somebody. But what I do know is that two things impacted me this week. Someone said something about my art that was, it was just like, bro, this is art. And he showed me his stuff, and he's a great artist. I mean, it's okay. So mine's shit, but you know what? I ain't giving up, dude. I haven't done my 10,000 hours yet. I'm getting better. Okay. I am getting better. If I get 10,000 hours in, I most certainly, and if I get 10,000 hours in, I will be one of the best artists on the planet, because nobody spends 10,000 hours doing anything. There's 8,760 hours in a year. It's 10 years of your life we're talking about. Excuse me, 1 whole year, 1.5 years of your life, right? Problem is you can't spend 1.5 years doing it. So this is my little rant of saying obsession, passion has served me very, very well. And by the way, passion and obsession, it doesn't really interact well with other people. Have you ever known anyone that was really, really obsessive, like fixated, crazy? They don't really hang around with a lot of people for long periods of time, because most people aren't that obsessed, man. I can only just be by myself. If I start hanging out with other people, I'm going to start doing other people things. I'm going to start doing other people things. I need to do Gary things. What am I here for? Okay. This isn't about just Gary getting his rocks off. Okay. This is about, hey, why am I here, man? All right. Gary Cardone in the house. Let's go, Gary. 365. Good to have you. Haven't seen you before, but you're very welcome. Agree. Digital detox discernment is necessary. Jennifer, I really agree with this. Okay. Our conscious focus creates our reality, but constant distractions dilute our focus. Not only dilute it, poison it. Okay. And it's take your energy away. I am an energy bundle. When I'm focused and in my deal, dude, I have more energy than anybody I know. If you come around and hang out and watch me, like Dana, she'll probably say, the guy doesn't really have that much energy. I don't have any energy when I'm not doing something that I'm like completely into. I'm pretty, slow and don't want to do it, fighting the whole thing. All right, let's see. Let's get a question here. We got any other questions? The myth of Sisyphus by Camus is a great read for those in this space searching for purpose. Gary, I am new to space and grateful for your insight. Good morning and thank you. Cheers. Hey, Gigi. Thank you very much, Gigi. Good to have you. I will write that down. The myth of Sisyphus by Camus. Yeah, thank you very much. I love reading. And no, this is not fake Grant Cardone. This is Gary Cardone. Okay. He was born 5 minutes before me. He's my big brother. Okay. Let's see. How can we undo all the indoctrination? Okay. Well, here's a question. How can we undo all the indoctrination? In order to undo a mistruth, you have to identify it as fiction and then figure out, hey, that's just a lie, and start revolting against the lies. Revolt against liars and anyone that doesn't allow you to challenge. Anyone that doesn't allow you to challenge a question, calls you stupid for asking a question, won't give you the answer or conflates the answer. They are part of the matrix, the drama matrix, and just, hang around people that will allow you to ask questions and assume everything has been an indoctrination. Okay. They called TV programming when I was growing up as a kid. Yeah. So I would assume that you were being everything you have has been indoctrinated. Yeah, dude, unfortunately, lack of trust currently. If I would say that if you're trusting anyone, you're foolish. I wouldn't trust any doctor or any doctor's office, any pharmaceutical company, any retailer, coach, teacher, advisor. I see no reason to trust any of these people. There's just nothing that suggests that they warrant trust. They should be trusting that we're asking questions. Okay, there's nothing for them to hide if there's nothing for them to hide. James Hooker says, as a best book for empowering self is As a Man Thinketh. This is an awesome book. Okay. As he says, 26 pages of pureness. As a Man Thinketh, great book. Thank you for that suggestion. Back to books. The road less traveled. If you're in trouble, if you're not in trouble, and you're looking for something rich, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino is one of the top 5 books I've ever read in my life. I read it probably every 5 to 7 years. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. Has absolutely nothing to do with sales. And it's a book for any age. Okay, any age, anytime. It's a really beautiful book. Think and Grow Rich is a must-have. If you're into living, if you're into your expansive life, it's a book you just go buy the hardback, get it, and stick it on your shelf, and then start reading it. It's a beast. Let's see, we got Lily in here. Yes, sir. Not sure what the yes, sir is about, but good. Welcome, Lily. Good to have you. We need a question here. What's the name of the book? Am I a Scientologist? I am not a Scientologist. I don't know why people keep doing this. I am not a Scientologist. My brother is a Scientologist, and I have studied some Scientology. Have you ever tried psychedelics like magic mushrooms? Yes, sir, I have. I've done a number of different experiences that were extremely, extremely meaningful for me. In fact, I would say they were one of the top 3 experiences my entire life. I will put a footnote around this. I am not talking about partying. I'm talking about an experience with intention, using psychedelics as a way to open up a realm to me that was not open, that I just couldn't. It actually has helped me with what Jennifer was referring to as an ego death, a true, not mental ego death, but a true understanding of like the cosmic fiber of who I am. Fascinating experience. I'm not recommending any type of drugs or anything, and I most certainly would talk to people that are doing this intentionally and there are people out there now studying this, and they're doing ceremonies safely with doctors. So just encourage you to do it properly. Having said that, psilocybin has a safety factor on it. All drugs or chemicals have a number on them. I think it goes from 0 to 50, 50 being the safest. Psychedelics are some of the most safest coded. They have a safety factor number like 4 times better than aspirin or Tylenol. So anyway, I've heard you speak with conviction about doing this because you were told to do it. What's causing you to question that now? Something has changed. Do you mind if I ask? This is a great question, Robert. Thank you very much, buddy. And I'm asking myself the same question because I was here 4 days ago. I'm like, wow, I wish I wouldn't have said I was going to do this as long as 1,000 people in the room, because I'm wanting to pull back. This is very common. Just because I have doubt, my middle name's Thomas, man. I'm a doubting Thomas. Just because I do this, first off, I did it because I was told to do it. I showed up. I'm showing up to, right now I'm showing up. It is my struggle, man. Something has changed. I've got a lot of negative influence hitting me all in the face. I'm like, hey, this is useless. I'm not even accomplishing anything. There's no one here. No one gives a fuck. The whole system's all screwed up. I was listening to too much negative shit, man. Okay. And so what happens? Something has changed. Do you mind if I ask what? Yeah, it's me going through my deal. And when I say things have changed, look, this always happens. There is no such thing as a chart that goes up and to the right forever. It's like this, okay? My progress is not like this. My progress is like this. And hopefully it's going up. But, catch me on a down couple of weeks, dude. I want to surrender everything. I want to give up. Makes sense? I think everybody's going to go through that. Look, this I am thing is hard work, man. It lights your ass up like a freaking X-ray machine because you cannot escape your own truth. I can't escape my own truth, and neither can the 6,315 people in this room. Right? You can't. Whether you know it or not is a different issue. Okay, whether you know it or not is a different issue. What was your low point? This is Jay Farr. Jay, good to meet you. Haven't seen you before in here. Welcome, man. What was your low point, Gary? Were you ever down bad? Homelessness, drug addiction, bankruptcy, anything like that, bro? I think almost everything. I've not been homeless, and I have not had a bankruptcy. Have I had a drug addiction? I will say I'm an extreme human being, and I probably played around with drugs more than I should have. Having said that, I went 25 years between 22 years completely clean. That was my first career. Did no drinking, no drugs whatsoever. But I'm not. Most certainly before then and after then, I have not been Mr. Pure. My low points have been brutal, bro. 5 years ago, probably most difficult period of my entire life. It was so shocking. I don't even have the time or the energy to go into it. But one thing I did in that event, I had my kids taken from me, and a $300-400 million business was attempted to be taken, and all the cash in a bank account. Massive lawsuit, a government lawsuit on top of that. That took about 5 years out of my life and suited me well because I'd done something 15 years ago, made a decision to do something that I would pay for in those 4 years. And so when what was my really low point, I've had about 10 very low points, but the low point on this last thing was that I'd really wasted 15 years of my life, and that I could never get back. And that is what I beg everyone to understand. Dude, you're not getting back any of your time. If you're in a mistake, cut your loss as soon as possible. Admit the mistake. I have made about every problem I've ever had is because of a mistake I made. I knew I was making it at the time, for sure. Let's see. Another low point. Dude, I mean, in 2000, just for people that think this is easy for people that have money, in 2006, I was single. Woman tells me she's pregnant with my baby. I'm building a business with her. I have $46,000 left in a 401 account, and I sell it all to fund the business. I had retired when I was 40, and I'm having to dump a 401k just to fund this business. So people that think wealthy people always have it easy, wealthy people usually took some really serious risk, and nobody ever thinks about what they did or the challenge that got them there. So what I have been good at, J4, is constantly pushing the envelope and, you know, trying to be as true to me as possible. Okay. Trying to be as true to me as possible. Okay. Hey, behind you. Okay. Do you support your brother's business models? I don't. I invest with Grant on some real estate properties. His business models are his business models, and I would support anyone in whatever they believe their religion to be. It's not my business. Let's see. McKeel Cooper says, "Good morning. Hope everyone have a great day." Thank you, bro. Good to have you in here, man. Good to have you. Fibaswami's getting love. Everybody likes Fibaswami, man. Y'all reach out to him. I really like the guy. He's a good guy. We have been battling spiritual war for the last number of years and finally out front for everyone to see. This is good evil at the highest levels. Dude, this has been going on for centuries, okay? Centuries. We've been doing this. All right. Do I have any more? No questions? Wow. Do I own a Lincoln? Do you own a Lincoln? No, I don't own a Lincoln. I am rich. I am very wealthy. And by the way, that is an awesome affirmation. I am wealthy. I am rich beyond my own imagination. I am rich. I am wealthy. Okay, now you need to define what wealthy is. You need to define what rich is, because those words are rarely ever defined. Art is in the never stop doing your art. Thank you, bro. I agree, man. I agree. You know, yeah, they spent totally, dude. Okay. I think this is a waste, guys. You're just feeding AI. I don't like you. Y'all could be writing a book, man. Look at this cat, okay? I've logged 10,000 hours in 2 different arenas, dedication instead of money drive. Then it happens. Dude, the 10,000 hours, I'm telling you, okay? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I know this is the right thing. Even if I'm uncomfortable, the Sunday thing is working, hopefully for you, and it's working for me. Follow your obsession, folks. Bruno Colho says, hey, I haven't seen this guy either. Okay, these are really a lot of new faces. Awesome, bro. Thank you for being here. Then don't. Okay. Okay. Grant is your brother. Okay. Let's see. You look like a rich man. Well, thank you, dude. And I have a lot of energy. That's Dana. I didn't know that was. Hey, Dana. Thank you, Dana. I do have a lot of energy. I mean, but I can be a bear. This man says something nice. He says, Kara Berman says, good morning. Thanks for your time. Thank you for being here. let's see. What keeps you obsessed these days at Gary Cardone? Would you invest in, even if, what would you, me? I would invest in me. I would invest. Look, you guys that are thinking about investing 500 bucks, go buy those books. Go buy Think and Go Rich, The Road Less Traveled, and Greatest Salesman in the World, and As a Man Thinketh by Allen, I think it is. Don't invest 500 bucks into Bitcoin or Nvidia or whatever. It's not. Invest in yourself, man. Okay. You have so much wealth inside of you, you haven't even mined yet. It isn't out there, it's in you. Let's see. You didn't know Grant. We didn't know Grant had a twin. Yeah, I know, man. It's amazing. He's only been on TV for 30 years. Never speaks about me. Shame on that boy. Or are you Grant's brother? Yes. Okay. My God, you guys haven't figured that out yet. Let's see. Hey, yo, old man. All right, bro. Great way to make a great man. Oh, As a Man Thinketh is a book worth reading every 6 months. Totally agree, bro. Totally agree. Okay, so a legitimate question. What's the economy like right now? If you were asking about investment, look, if you're into investment for 4 to 8 years, I love Bitcoin. Or some of these other stocks going to do okay? Maybe. I think the AI world is grossly overvalued at this point. Invest in yourself, man. Okay. It's the best trade you're going to make. It's the best trade you are going to make. I promise you. Now, Dana, what belief took the longest to unlearn, and what was it? Now, see, that's a great question. Ooh. I would say very good question, Dana. One, I have to confront that my parents knew nothing. I mean, they didn't know nothing. They knew enough to give me manners, shame, a sense of conscientiousness. That's where the shame fits in. Like, I want to be a producer. I want to deliver value. I don't want to be a taker. Here's something really good to put on your in your inventory book or your IM book. I am a solution. I am a problem. Okay. There are times when I go into an environment and I need to ask myself every time I walk into an environment, am I part of the solution here? If I'm not, what am I? I'm either a passive bystander who could become a problem, or I'm a problem. But now, if I'm part of the solution, I need to be very active in that. So why am I saying that? My parents, when you're growing up, you think people know everything, and then you realize that my parents didn't know anything other than how to raise some children kind of well. That's really it. And by the way, the world they lived in is very different than today. So the thing I had to unlearn was that everything I had learned was wrong. I had to learn to question everything. God, me, you, my agenda, my Uh, for instance, if I would not have learned that I could not possibly stay in a career for 40 years, now this did not take me a long time to unlearn, but if I would have listened to everybody else, I would still be in the oil and gas business. And Dana knows me well enough, like 22 years in the oil and gas business was a long time for me. And I think after about 10 years, man, you kind of, I've now, 10,000, probably 10,000 hours. Most certainly one of the leading top 500 people in the world on energy. How much more was I going to learn? I don't want to spend my entire life in one industry. That is something our parents used to believe in so they could accept a paycheck. I hate paychecks. Okay. I don't like salaries. I've never liked salaries. One of the things that I did need to learn was attrition. If you're competing, I don't really think people are competing the way we competed. But if you're competing with others, don't disregard attrition. And by attrition, I mean the statistical likelihood that if there's 100 people in a swimming pool that you're competing with to tread water, where are you going to be in that 100 people that pushes you through? Who surrenders early? Attrition. People are getting out of the pool. Like all you have to do is just keep going. Okay. It's not really much more complicated than that. That's why I'm here this morning, because it's not really about whether I'm really happy to be here. It's, hey, I made a decision to be here. I told you I was going to be here. This is a trick, by the way. This is okay. Like here's a belief, Dana, that I had to have a reason to have a meeting to set up a meeting. What I figured out some time ago was, oh, wow. And you'll remember this. Hey, I just need to stack all these Sundays up. Like I wish somebody would just go in there and just stack Sundays up for the next 2 years for me. I am Sunday, 10:30 a.m. It's in StreamYard. I can't not show up now. Okay, so this was me unlearning that I had to commit. I had to learn, commit first, make a reason to go to New York, get a meeting with someone to go to New York in 2 weeks, and then fill, and he says yes, and then I'm committed because I can't not go, and then I fill in things on top of that. I commit to write a book, and I'm going to start writing. Now, you haven't heard me say that because I ain't ready for it. See, the thing with me is once I know this I am works so well. If you guys get nothing else from me, literally, I will not write down I am an author, because as soon as I do that, dude, I have a job, because I know I will start writing a book. It is almost programmed in me now that I can do this. It's going to unleash some unconscious part of me. Like I'm going to walk away this morning being more happy, I hate that word, but more pleased with this Sunday morning than I was last week. I hated last week. Just absolutely hated it. Okay. Let's see. We got any other questions here? Great question, Dana. What fear still shows up and how do you manage it at your level? Oh, man. I still get nervous meeting strangers. I mean, not nervous really. I mean, I think people think it's always easy to meet a bunch of strangers. It's not. It may look easy for me. I mean, Dana probably looks at me and says, oh, wow, he's so chilly-milly, but sometimes I don't even want to be there. So what fears still show up? Well, being wrong. What if I did all this and I was wrong? What if I disconnected myself from the material world, which I have the ability to do because I've put some beans together, It is. It's a little. Well, I'll just go ahead and say, okay, it is very scary for me to disconnect myself from the commercial world. And the thing is, I am doing that because I just don't find that it really serves me. I have people asking me to sit on boards and do all that stuff, and I'm like, I then get on somebody else's clock. Uh, what fear still shows up? I think you know what fear shows up. Great question. I think um, waking up tomorrow and thinking that I should have done more today. That would be that would be a concern. I, you know, painting is an extremely terrifying event for me, and they all seem like events. It is like I just spent probably 20 hours with a painting, and it's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Uh, Now I'm gonna work through it, and it's simply the way I do this is, hey, can I put that on a wall that I would look at every day? And if I would, then I don't have bad taste. Um, Doing what I'm doing is scary because I'm like just when I just said, hey, people ask me to be on boards, and I usually say no. Like just saying that and getting that out into the commercial world, people I fear that people will go, oh wow, he's checked out. I don't want to be one of those warriors that checked out. Truth is, dude, I don't like doing that with war. It's so easy for me. Checking me out, understanding who I am, being able to say yes and no, not because of oh, wow, I need to say yes because Anthony asked me to say yes, or Bob asked me, or Mary. I don't want to, man. I don't want to do it. Being true to myself, okay? That is what terrifies me, Dana. See how long that took me to answer? I am terrified not to go to my grave and to look at myself in the mirror and go, dude, you lied to yourself. That would freak me out. Um, yeah, you're right, Robert. Highly susceptible to propaganda. Yep, it either floats or it doesn't. Okay, who's this? Are you sure you didn't just have an hallucination? I don't think so, but maybe I did, man. Maybe it's all an hallucination. You can't prove that it isn't. Okay, Dana's got lots of questions. Wow. See, this is cool. Like, I don't know if y'all like. I would like to know if you guys like the Q&A. I just didn't want to sit here and make it all about me. But the questions are making it all about me. What is the most important thing in my life? Setting a really great example for my children, and I don't know that if I've done that well, but most certainly that's a big deal to me. Being honorable, Dana, being honorable, and I would really like to have a. I know there's something out there waiting for me. I've always wanted a really bizarre spiritual experience. I mean, I've had some really, but there's something else out there waiting for me. I think that is it's enlightenment I'm looking for. When the gentleman asked about the psychedelics, I can honestly say that the times that I've done psychedelics, it has been I've jumped out of airplanes. I lost $140 million one year. I had almost died in a helicopter. I've had some bizarre, crazy things happen in my life. And I will say that these mind altering, expansive moments have opened me up, like given me access to a different part of Gary. I've done a tremendous amount of hours time in religions, studying the practices. And all of that's been, I want to say my children, but my children are simply, I don't even know who my children are, really. I don't know what their dreams are. That dawned on me. And I know other parents think, okay, they're going to put their kids in their business, or they know everything about their kids. But if you really think about it, Dana, you worked for me for some time. I don't really know what you think. I don't know really what you think of me. I don't really, I don't know what my children imagine me to be. I have some fear that they see me, because I had children late in life. They could see me as being lazy, because I have always worked to my own, well, at least for the last 30 years, worked to my own kind of tune. Anyway, that's a whole different story, but okay. But thank you for the question, Danny. It's awesome to have questions like that. I know not one form of religion or philosophy is correct. We all hear our own journeys, learning, growing. Exactly, dude. I've yet to hear the truth. I've yet to see the truth. And if I had anything that I could wish for, it would be, hey, give me the first books ever written about humanity. And I know there's data around on this planet. We did not just show up here. Humans have been doing this a long time or something. Okay. Dana, what's something you wish you knew in your 30s but didn't learn until much later in life and wish you knew earlier? Do not get married in my 30s. Seriously. And I'm not bashing on marriage. I should not have gotten married when I was 28. I wasn't ready. I got married because other people were getting married, and my boss said, hey, dude, are you gay? Should not have gotten married. I was an absolute warrior. I didn't have time to be married. Picked the wrong person. Janice, love you. You're an awesome human being, but come on. We were so bloody different. It was crazy. I wished I would have learned to be alone more. Really. I wished I would have learned to be alone more. I hooked into women for security and safety and the comfort, the mommy. And that's why I tell everybody, hey, man, leave your girlfriend, leave your boyfriend, leave your zip code when you're 18, 20. You don't need all that baggage. You don't even know who you are yet. I just didn't know who I was. Got married to a girl, had no clue who I was immature, and she was awesome. Not really. We were kids, man. Okay. Lucas Nash says, that is a great question. Okay. Gary, what's one brutal truth about success most people aren't ready to hear, but absolutely need to? Well, some of the most successful people in the world are assholes. So just because somebody got a lot of money does not mean shit. In fact, money is a very powerful elixir, okay? Like it's a trap. Um, it's a trap. So I think one of the real brutal truths though that most people don't really ever appreciate about this question is the most really successful people did not just kind of get lucky. They worked their asses off and they sacrificed a lot more. I've been married 3 times, man. I spent 40 years in 3 industries. And hey, the other thing is anyone that thinks they're in an industry and they're all your buddies, that is not real. Just like it wasn't real that you're still hanging out with your college buddies or your high school buddies or your junior high. You come together in a corporation or in an industry to accomplish something, and then 10 years later, you move on, or 20 years, you move on, 30, whatever it is, okay? But it's not like I have 37 people calling me every month. Hey, Gary, how you doing? How you doing? What's up? Like we were just doing something together. At the time, this is not your family. They're not your friends necessarily. You most certainly may learn some, okay? But isn't it cool? I live 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, and I can respawn myself into new careers, into new states of being, into new purposes. Who's behind you? You guys keep asking me who's behind me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, here's one from A1 Rising. Gary's finding his new purpose in life now that his business, being a father of young kids and other things, he is moving on. My kids are actually, one's finished high school. I'm done with her. Her deal is, hey, go figure out who you are. And I got a 16-year-old, so I got a year and a half left. I think actually my father role will be done in a year and a half, and perhaps one of the richest opportunities for understanding is in front of me. It's not behind me, it's in front of me. In fact, I'm going to suggest that the greatest amount of understanding is in your future, man. Like we've been lied to so badly and left missing information that there's only upside here. The amount of revelation and enlightenment that's getting ready to happen if you embrace your awareness. I am conscious of reality. I am conscious of what's going on in my universe, and my mind begins to feed the universe, and then the universe magically opens me up. I start to see things differently. All right. So don't let people inject out. Ask them what they are doing. You know, I'm going to have people poo-poo on stuff I do, and you most certainly are going to. You'll be doing it to yourself, by the way, more than anybody else. That's the guy you need to quiet, is the guy that's really jamming you. But there will be external influences. Like, for instance, I had to learn a lesson. When I'm doing art, see, when I'm doing business, I don't have to ask anybody if I did good, because I know the numbers are there. Oh, wow, I made $16 million. Okay, cool. Boop. That was really good. Oh, lost some money. Oh, that was not good. Okay. When I'm doing the IMs, when I'm doing myself, I don't really have anything to measure. When I'm doing art, I'm like, I don't know if this is good, or if I compare it to a Picasso or a Motherwell, I'm an idiot, man. I mean, I'm so ugly, it's ridiculous. So I am going to have people poo-poo on me. I got to move through that. That's why I am an artist. I might not be a great artist, but I'm an artist. I'm going to do my 10,000 hours. I will get there. Okay. How did you waste 15 years? What makes that time a waste? Okay. Great question. It wasn't a complete waste. but it was not my journey. I made an error. Look, I had a rule, and my rule is never do business with people you're sleeping with. And I interfered these two things. I don't need a woman to do business. Okay. I know exactly what I'm doing in business. In fact, it's a problem because my communication to someone in business and my communication to someone in my home with as a partner, you would never you literally would look at me as two human beings. One is, hey, that's a stupid fucking deal. The other one is, I don't really want to go there. I don't really think that's a good movie. Okay, like these are responses to almost the same questions. And if you're my wife and I'm sitting there going, hey, that's a dumb deal. Gosh, I'm no longer talking to my business partner. I'm talking to my wife who's pretending to be a business partner. That was a huge mistake for me. Additionally, it took me into her agenda. It didn't keep me on my agenda. I had no interest in that industry. Still don't have any interest in the industry. Think it's a disgusting industry. And I hate making money from dumb businesses. So I really love to be challenged. I wasted 42 years of my life. I do not think you wasted 42 years of your life. Okay? I do not think so. I think you can look at it as a waste, or you can ask yourself, am I wasting it right now? Okay. What like any big mistake I've ever made, I at least go back to it and go, hey, you know what? Could this possibly help someone? Could this help someone? Right. My challenge, I always think about that. Wow, man, maybe I'll be able to help someone through this challenge one day because I had the same experience. Let's see. Daryl is asking, are you okay, man? Gosh, I think so. I think I am. Thank you for asking, though, buddy. What are you obsessed about today? Now, when I say obsessed, okay, I don't mean obsession. For me has served me well. It's kept me in a zone where, well, I think it's really down to the competition. Like most people aren't obsessed. And if I'm competing with somebody that's hyper obsessed, I'm probably going to get just run over, right? I'm going to get run over. Are you a believer? Well, gosh, a believer in what? I am a believer. I do believe that there's some powerful universal power that has been what's the word for it? Diluted or minimized, discarded with our own human language. That's what I would say. I would say that I'm a believer that something far greater than you and I is running this show. Let's see. Do we have any more? This is not Follow Your Dreams. Yeah, that's a great book, man. Max Reviews, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I would say it's not it's a great book. It's a must tool that you want to have. It wouldn't be something that I would, if I'm in trouble, I'd go look at. Let's see. All right. Here's one. Gary Cardone, what are you curious about to learn, experiment these days? Fascinated in the study of, I'm really enjoying studying art. Also, am spending a lot of time thinking and reading philosophy. I think there's a lot for us to learn from the past. I think there's a lot to learn from the past. Okay, guys, I'm going to start closing up here. We've got, wow, 15,000 people in here. Really? I want to say that I appreciate your tolerance with me, your patience. I really appreciate people coming together on a Sunday, just gathering, whether I'm here or not here, whether I do a good job or don't do a good job. If you guys like this format, do you like the Q&A? I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that comes on here for 90 minutes and just, you know, I most certainly don't want this to be a Gary show or an ego thing. I don't. I want you to win. I want to win. And I know I can't win. There's no sense in me winning if we don't have a community together that's also winning. So I'd really encourage you guys to get out of your box, reach out to the people here. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people in here. Unacceptable, Jatel, fear of lack of freedom. Give us one fear of your success. 365, I like your activity. Man, I find attention is a little scary sometimes. The attention, and that you know, if I have success, I have some responsibility to be in the limelight. I fear the limelight. I actually fear the limelight quite a bit. I've never been that comfortable with it. Been very comfortable not doing it. Holy shit, you sound and oh, I wonder why, man. The broke twin. Yeah, I'm the broke twin, bro. That's me. Wow, lots of comments. Marisa the Muse, thank you for being here. I got Laura Real Estate here. Bama Contractor, thank you for being here. The Skeptic, Lord Crypto. Do you believe in dinosaurs? I don't know. Not sure I do. Not sure I do. You're awesome. That's what I think. I also think that your kids are so lucky to have you because they know that what's possible. It's hard to realize that you can visualize something, actually do it. Yeah, Dana, thank you. One thing I am great at, my life. And in fact, the reason I started painting was I realized that everything I'd ever created came from a blank canvas. It's what I do. I'm really, really good at that. Just creating something by imagining it. That's all I'm really trying to do here, is to tell you that literally I have a moderate IQ. I have a horrible education. And the only thing I can point to the success that you think I have, which I don't think anyone, you cannot look at me and go, oh, I know Gary's really successful. There's so many things people don't know about me that is not successful, right? That is challenging for me. But that I can stand in front of 15, 20,000 people and say, the only thing that got me to the kind of success that most everyone wants, hey, how can I get in the 1%? Is I am successful. Doing I am has been absolutely staggering. And sometimes I just need to be reminded of this. It's hard to realize that you can visualize something and actually do things. And like literally, this is been my entire hack in life. I do find it interesting listening to people's stories, having spiritual experiences of my own it's quite interesting for sure. Yeah, man. Listen, whatever people need to do. Learning to be alone is learning to like yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. And it's the single most important thing we can do. Yo, Marissa the Muse, totally agree. If you have not spent 1 hour by yourself in a year or longer, go do it. Go do it today. No pencil, no paper. Chill, man. 1 hour. Just shut it all down. See what happens. See what happens. See, if you haven't done that, how do you know how you're going to respond? How do you know, right? Grant looking rough as fuck. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the love. Where was your mama when you needed her? Has understanding Bitcoin taught you anything important or profound? Yes. And this will be my last question I'm going to take. Bitcoin got me to this room. Bitcoin, the one of 21 million fixed units. When I started attempting to calculate the value of Bitcoin, and I'm looking at all these experts. I mean, looking at these experts over here, these crypto bros, and then looking at these experts over here, these traditional finance geniuses, and they're all like, hey, I think it's worth this. I think it's worth that. No one agreeing, no one able to agree. I'm like, man, everybody's arguing with each other. They say this Bitcoin thing, 1 in 21 million, is pretty cool. And Dana is sitting there. She's a 1 of 1. 24XX is a 1 of 1. First to watch is a 1 of 1. Kelly Yuga Yogi is a 1 of 1. Aries is a 1 of 1. I'm a 1 of 1, and I'm a bloody freaking twin. I'm a 1 of 1. Not a 1 of 21 million, man. And then it smashed him up. I'm like, oh, wow, everyone has Bitcoin wrong. Human beings don't have the ability to value finite. How do I know that? Because we argue with each other constantly. Instead of me looking at your difference and seeing the genius in it, I look at your difference and immediately attack it. Immediately attack it, just like this ass, okay? Call your mother and tell her you lost your manners. You see what I'm saying? So it's the I just have to keep doing, okay? And that's why I showed up today, doing without overthinking it. Okay, it's a huge mistake for me to think. I need to take action. Action is the what's the word for it? The best insecticide for the best drug for doubt is taking action. Okay, where when you're thinking, you're in doubt. When you're taking action, you might be in doubt, but you're doing. Okay. All right, guys, thank you very much. We got 16,000 people in here. Dana, if you could just check, make sure these aren't a bunch of bots. That's always bizarre to me. Here's another one. Dang, man, you look old. Well, bro, I'm almost 68. Well, I appreciate your love anyway. Maybe next week I'll have some collagen put in my face, get my skincare, do these little guys, and maybe I'll get more than 3 hours of sleep. Einstein would take naps and see mathematical equations. Well, I do take naps, just don't see the equations. Hey, here we go. We're going to end one on a positive note. Will X, you're cool. Gary, Will, you're cool. Thank you, guys. Love you very much. You must, in payment for this 1.5 hours or whatever, hanging out with 17,000 people, you must go out and do something nice for someone today. Additionally, something nice, okay? I would like you to send a note or a text or a phone call to someone that you might have been a little rough to this week and say, hey, dude, sorry I was a little rough with you. You didn't deserve that. And I'm talking about people making mistakes like some of these ding-dongs talking about how bad I look. All right? Yeah, that's not nice, man. Be nice to people. Let me remind you what your parents taught you. If you don't have anything good to say, keep your fucking mouth shut and try to come up with something. You could say, hey, wow, man, his hair looks awesome. This $500 sweater is pretty cool looking, but you have to go, oh, wow, he looks like shit. Come on, man. You can do better than that, bro. Okay. I have found myself doing this to celebrities my whole life. Wow, they look like shit, dude. I wouldn't say it, But you see, it's like, why do I immediately criticize people? And by the way, I pick you out because I have done this and do this. And when I am critical of another human being, I am literally advising every part of me in looking, hey, what am I doing that reminds you of yourself, that reminds you of something you should be doing or are doing and you don't like it? Okay, there's something in you that I irritate, and I would encourage you to figure out what it is. In the meantime, go out, be nice to somebody, man. Okay, like be nice to somebody. Buy somebody a $50 dinner and don't let them know you did it. Okay, leave a tip. Go help somebody that stinks. Okay, somebody that you don't like, but you cannot tell anybody about it. You cannot brag on it. It's your little secret thing. And the other thing is, write down, I am, in a box, wrap it up for Christmas, and put down 2026 and open it next year. Okay, you will be shocked at how poorly you sold yourself into believing what your ability was. You will far exceed what your I ams are. I am Gary Cardone. I'm happy to be here. I send you love and care and great energy. I ask that you all send some really, really cool, powerful energy to my sister Diane in Louisiana. And we're going to get her all healed up. And she's going to be at peace with whatever is going on in her universe. Being at peace, or at least being able to fight through it to get to peace is going to be a big deal for her, and for all of us eventually. So, guys, thank you very much. Be good to yourselves and take that hour that we talked about today. Take the hour in silence, and it's weird that nobody, like almost no one will have spent 1 hour by themselves in solitude in the last year. And you're the asset. So spend some time with the asset. All right. Ciao, guys.